See about YouTube. Yes. Well, there we go. Okay. Good morning. My name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to New Light Streaming Love. Today is Sunday, February the 23rd, 2025. And so something interesting has occurred. Um, I'm not quite sure as to the reason why, although immediately what I got when I asked, I saw the subscriptions, the number of folks who have subscribed to the channel went down. Now, that could be a function of the fact that it's only been me of late coming out here and doing card pulls, and there are no other content. I'm not sure. But when I ask myself what that might be about, I actually got that maybe some folks didn't care for yesterday's live. Because, yesterday, if you weren't here, I encourage you to go and take a look because honestly, I feel as though it was smack on my observation about RFK Jr. A lot of folks have really, and honestly, I have seen some light workers in particular, actually, who are very adamant about not liking certain people in the political sphere, which I don't understand, but that's okay. It's not for me to understand other folks necessarily. And if that's the case, I mean, we're only talking about 3 or 4 folks who were subscribed who are now not subscribed anymore. And so, whether or not that's actually what happened, I have no idea. But I just found it kind of interesting. Is it that? Is it a timeline jump? Is it, what is it exactly? And who knows, So, as I said, I really do feel like what's happening on the planet to everyone, whether they know it or not, believe it or not, understand it, understand it or not, has to do with the expansion of the human consciousness, has to do with the evolution of the humanoid body, even. And so, we're liable to see all manner of things taking place. Okay, so today is going to be rather quick, actually, as I am going to visit my granddaughter. And so we're going to just take these 3 cards. And the fairies definitely wanted to weigh in, and of course, the Rumi deck. And the surrender deck. So the first one that wanted to come out is the surrender deck, and it's surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. Now, I agree to an extent here, but not to the only looking at love and light and not having any negativity. I actually like to go a little bit deeper for myself, and each being will vary in their own situation. I want to know why? What brought this on? What is this about? Um, so that I can um, interrupt that programming, because a lot of a lot of my own negative thinking, or stinking thinking, like I like to call it sometimes, has to do with old programming and conditioning that I have on board. And so by asking myself, and honestly, that to me is one of the best things, asking questions of myself tends to interrupt programming and conditioning, because programming can't really stand up to questions on any sort of level, which is a reason, is part of the reason why I uh, played that clip of the RFK speech yesterday. His talking about our going back to critical thinking, right? To being a little more skeptical about things and not just accepting the word of others, including my own brain, right? So it does interrupt that programming and conditioning when I question myself. I will tend to sputter inside first. Uh, and I notice that does, it just interrupts the programming. Um, so I'm glad to see that, actually, because, oh, wow. As I opened the book, it opened directly to the correct page for this card. So I didn't even have to turn to the page. That's very interesting. This is card number 42. Numerologically, that's a 6, which is all about love, balance, and harmony. Mike, the Myomancer. And the key words for this card are small clues, details, the messages everywhere, and patience. A myomancer reads the past, present, and potential of all things in the movements of mice. Mike is particularly fond of reading the movements of field mice, as they are livelier and better fed than church mice. Mike could learn the same things by reading berries, or the patterns made by fallen leaves, or any one of a billion other things. But his specialty is mice. He can learn endless things from the way they twitch their whiskers and hold their tails. He sees hidden information in the patterns of growth and coloration in their fur, the way the wind rumples it, and how they preen themselves. Little things can tell us a lot. Everything bears messages about the universe around us. And I really have come to feel like that is a true statement. The universe, everything in my field endeavors to communicate to me, from me, by the way. Studying the details sometimes enables us to deduce the whole. That's why I like the term puzzle piece collector, because there are puzzle pieces everywhere around us. The entire universe is one piece, and each fragment of that one reflects and is connected to all the others. That famous philosopher Anonymous once said, "The lifting of a finger disturbs the farthest star." Mike says it works the other way around too. He advises us to make a slow and observant study of the little things and their even smaller details in the world around us. He says that such study not only helps us enhance our understanding of life, unity, and everything, but it also helps to develop a joyful patience and a deeper philosophy. Attention to details is important at this time. Little things are not only important in themselves, but they also give you important information about larger things. Look for the inner hidden meaning in ordinary objects, happenings, and experiences. Life is trying to teach you something by speaking to you gently. With luck and application, you will get the message before it has to speak to you more loudly. Body language in humans as well as mice may give you very useful information at the present time, especially if you learn to read it properly. The clues to the answers you seek and the things you need to know are all around you. You are surrounded by omens, portents, and signs, but the signs are not written on billboards in large letters. They are in the small happenings of your life. Be awake and aware. And I will add to that, be present. Hint, if you work out that what the question really is, it is much easier to recognize the answer when it comes. Well, and that's quite interesting. Like I said, that it came to, all I did was open the book and it was right at the right page. That doesn't happen very often. So I find that very interesting. And I have found it to be true for myself that the universe around me uses every single thing it can to communicate with me. Every single thing. All of my surroundings are sending me messages all the time. I'll ask myself a question, and there's been times I'll do so. Good morning, Quinn J. I'm so glad you were able to join us. I'll hear an answer from someone 2 aisles over if I'm in a store, or a song will play on the radio, and that is my answer. Just all sorts of wonderful things like that. That is the Mike the Myomancer card for me. So our final card of this reading is from the Rumi Oracle, the Blessing of Zara. Let go of thought. Don't take it into your heart. You are naked, and thought is like ice. You use thought to seek release from suffering and pain, while thought is the cause of your suffering and pain. That's so true. So true. The realm of creation is outside the scope of thought. O foolish one, see the opus and behold the beauty. Look in the direction from which the images flow. See the brook that causes the wheel to turn. Rumi. I wish to pull that false confection from your mouth. Oh, I know you will open your mouth even wider to scream like the terrible cry of a toddler denied. But the moment you open your mouth wide and draw breath to bemoan the outrageous travesty of your loss, I shall shove my divine finger, dripping with nectar, into your gaping mouth. I'll let you suckle then, surprised and contented by the sweetness that surpasses all other sweets. When we are hungry, we reach for what food is available. If we are starving, we may gorge upon what is before us only to find ourselves overfed, undernourished, and in a most uncomfortable and dissatisfied state. Wow, that's kind of interesting because I was having a conversation much about this just moments before I went live. See, everything in my surroundings speaks every single thing. When we are hungry, no, I already read that part. Your soul needs better quality food. It has been detoxing. You have been shedding old thoughts, feelings, pains, and struggles. Memories of the past have been flooding out of your soul, like parasites being expunged. And that's interesting too. So interesting because I'm about to embark upon parasite cleanse. So that's very interesting. Wow. And now your soul, thus cleaned, is in need of genuine nourishment to restore it to full radiance and vitality. Love will feed your hungry soul. Nothing less shall suffice. No sweet talking charmer, hell bent on seducing and moving on will make the grade. No, it has to be nothing less than genuine romancing by the great beloved to feed, comfort, and nurse you into radiance. Only that divine finger dipped in the heavenly honey can be taken in by your soul now. All else will seem as empty junk by comparison. That's true too, by the way. Once one has come to a very deep decision that to be present and to only move towards that which brings one joy, all the while making sure that those shadows that are there that still I find uh, become integrated and loved into wholeness. Nothing else can compare. It's just empty junk by comparison is a really good way to put that. Pardon me. But can we summon the strength to overcome habitual and mindless attempts at feeding on lesser substances? Oh, yes. The great beloved shall storm through the kitchen and with military precision clear out the cupboards, for only the best and finest, most decadent and delicious shall do for you. This oracle comes with special guidance for you. You are being given a blessing of Zara, of radiance, of brightness. This blessing has a purpose. It is to clear out that which would obstruct your full unfoldment, to support the divine jewel of your soul in shining. You are being given an opportunity supported by life, by the earth, by the grace of the divine beloved to shed toxins from your being. Oh, I love that. These may be physical and they may equally be of emotional, psychic, or psychological origin. They come from this or another lifetime. You may understand consciously what is being released, or you may not. If you are sensitive, you may feel symptoms of detoxification at a physical level. And honestly, I feel like that's going on for an awful lot of people. Actually, a majority of people on the planet right now. Quinn J said, okay, that honey part, Sheila, is it. How is it? I always just seem to come in at the right time. Well, that's just it, Quinn J. The universe drew you here at the perfect moment. And if we allow ourselves to know that to be true and to relax into that knowing, it just keeps happening and keeps happening and keeps happening. At least it has for me. Okay, so stay adequately hydrated and be moderate rather than excessive in your approach. Did I forget some? No, that's right. Give your body and mind time to rest and replenish so that blessing can be received. If you have been unwell or struggling to let go of an issue, this oracle comes as a portent of imminent healing back to good health and of release of the issue into resolution and divine radiance. It is only a matter of timing, and that timing is imminent. This oracle also brings you the message that if something appears to be leaving your life, even something painful to release, it is because it is no longer healthy for you or no longer supporting of life for you. There is something more loving and beautiful awaiting. Do not try to feast upon scraps. Stop scraping in the dirt for stale breadcrumbs. Rise up and move towards the seat at the heavenly table gleaming before you, for a greater feast awaits your attendance. And I'd also think that that's a true statement as well. I'm actually bearing witness to things that this that this reading actually is is showing me that the way I the information that I keep being shown is echoed right here in this reading again. Um, a lot of us when something that we tend to label as horrific happens and it throws us into a state of fear, negative thinking comes right in behind that, and that doesn't help the situation. All the signs point to this blessing coming, but we have to believe it to be so. There has this right here has to be released as well, right? Boy, oh boy, this this has been a big one for me. Well, I hope this was helpful for those of you who are either here now or will find this later. And I also want to say if the energy holds tonight, my plan is to do an intuitive hangout session, an actual planned intuitive hangout session. I will be making a little note and sending it around uh, at least 1 hour beforehand. And if I do it, it will start at around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And but again, that's a big if. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna, uh, you know, I would like to. That is my plan. But if I just cannot, then I won't. And part of it has to do with this right here. I am aware that my own body through this whole move and everything that we've undergone here, between the move and the stress of my housemate being in the hospital yet and again now for the fourth time. um, there it takes a toll, right? So I want to do it because I enjoy doing it, and it absolutely, uh, you know, it's enjoyable and it helps me. I can get in here and hear myself a lot easier with your help. And so, if you see this and you would like to attend, it will be here on New Light Streaming Love beginning at around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The last one was supposed to be a catch up with Crystal, and I just heard from her she's not feeling well today. So, uh, we'll have to do that catch up at another time. Um, but you see, that's just it, right? A detoxification. Sounds like it. And quite frankly, I just was made aware this morning that for Libras in particular, which I am a sun sign of Libra, we've got a big month coming up in March, astrologically speaking. And so, there's a lot going on in the cosmos. So until we meet again, I hope that you will continue to move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It really is just a matter of your perspective and your perception of the perspective that you hold in that moment. And until we meet again, be well. I love you, my friends.